Well, you just heard what a wonderful organization College Now is and how they are helping students excel in college. You heard the importance of the mentoring program, and you heard how our parent company, Tegna, has gotten involved with this incredibly wonderful organization.
Absolutely, but now we'd like to introduce you to another organization who heard the call for help and answered in a huge way. Thank you so much, Dave, for spending a couple of minutes with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. This is great.
Dave. It's good to see you.
I was going to say, this is certainly an all-star Monday, and we're talking about mentoring and being a mentor, and you have a lot of experience with that as well. So tell us a little bit more about your experience with being a volunteer mentor with your mentor training program.
So when I was asked to lead the Cleveland office back in 2016, we said we wanted to do something different, give back to the community, and we understand financial support is important, but at the same time, giving time is really important as well. Because without the time that's devoted to the young people of Northeast Ohio, we take a lot of things for granted that they don't have. And so part of what we're doing is really trying to say, hey, this is my background, this is what I went through, and kind of go through the hoops and hurdles of what they experience going off to college for the first time.
And I'm sure a lot watching would maybe be curious to know if you could give us some examples of pointers that you would give students what you learned in the mentor training, because that's where it's at.
It is, it really is. So for example, you know, your first day you're going to class and you don't know what building is to go to. So maybe the first day you go before the classes start, do a tour of going to the different classrooms that you're going to have classes in, so that way you can at least know where you're going to go and you're not like a lost sheep kind of walking around campus.
The anxiety away
yeah,
too.
it really does. So that was one of the big ones, and also just communicating with people, just making sure if you have questions, ask, because sometimes people just don't want to ask those questions, and that's what we're trying to get them to do, is ask questions. If you have any concerns, or if you are unsure of where to go, just ask.
Now, have you personally been assigned a student mentee?
Yes, I have.
Tell me more.
So my mentee, his name's Kall. He's going to Case Western Reserve University. He is going to be a pre-law track, and he's going to major in poli-sci, which is kind of funny because that's my background. So
it's funny how things work.
It's awesome. So that way we can talk about what he's going to experience along his way at Case Western Reserve.
Connect on which is a great topic.
So what's the sort of expected time commitment with these mentees, and go through the process with us?
It's really not that difficult. You're supposed to communicate at least twice a month through email, or if you want to text or phone, whatever that mentee is comfortable with. And then 3 times during the year you get together with them and have a face-to-face meeting. So I have not met my mentee yet, so I will meet him on August 6th. There's the first get-together with all the mentors and mentees, so it'll be a really interesting event.
Yeah.
If someone wants to become a mentor or a mentee, how can they get in touch with you and get involved?
It's very simple. Just to go to the College Now website. There's a link there to sign up to be a mentor, and you go from there. The process takes 20 minutes, if that, so it's very simple. Fill out an application and then they do the rest.
Yeah, and I would have to believe that this is such a reward for you. It has to feel so good to make a difference in someone's life and have such a big impact. You could probably tell a million stories, but any that stick out to you?
Well, you know, I kind of go back to my kids. You know, that's the first people that I ever mentored. So, you know, I kind of go back to them and see what they've done with their lives and what differences they've made just by giving them fatherly advice. You know, we take for granted so much about what we know just because we've been through. Other people don't have that ability to ask the questions. And so from that perspective, it's really neat to see them to be able just to say, hey, how do I do this? How do I apply for a job? You know, things that we just take for granted.
Yeah, isn't it true sometimes you don't want to hear from mom or dad?
That's so true. And you know, I always think it's really interesting too, because yes, you were there to help a mentee out, but really what it does for you as the mentor in return can be equally as powerful. Tell me a little bit more about how that experience for you.
So I'll give you a great example. So we're one of the community partners with the Cleveland Indians, and we had our baseball game with the Indians last week. And we reached out to College Now and we said, hey, instead of someone from our firm throwing out the first pitch, can we have a student that could throw out that first pitch. And so there's the picture of Nicole throwing out the first pitch. It was unbelievable. She was such an amazing person. She just graduated from John Haynes, going to Howard University, and the smile on her face after she proved it in there.
Honor.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow.
And she played softball, and she was debating, oh, do I go underhand or overhand? And she finally said, okay, I'm just going to groove it in there. I'm like, okay, and she did.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
That's one heck of a story right
Yes,
there. That
it
doesn't like
is.
bring it full circle.
Right.
Thank
And so,
you.
to us, that's what it's all about.
It is, yeah.
Giving back.
Dave, we love it. We love what you're doing. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for
And
having
as we mentioned, we want to give everyone else an opportunity as well to dial on in. You can see the information there at the bottom of your screen. It's McDonaldHopkins.com for more information. David, again, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Enjoyed it.